Hello, welcome to My Cake Kitchen. I am Gladys, and over here we make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating easily. It's Tuesday and we're back to simple tutorials, and today we're making lemon curd. So if you see me for the first time, I hope you join me so we can get through lemon curd. I'll be talking through what lemon curd is, the ingredients and their role in the recipe, and then we will complete how to make lemon curd. You'll see the entire process from start to finish, which is the essence of these lives, because it gives you an unfiltered view of the cake decorating process, the recipe making process, and some of the outcomes to the bakes I undertake, including buttercream and various types of fillings. So if you see me for the first time and you love cakes, I hope you make a decision to stick around, join us as always for a valuable session. There are a few of our everyday people in the chat, and I can see you on the corner of my eye. There is Steph from Seasonings to Seasons. She owns and runs a channel herself. So if you want some homestead lifestyle and very thoughtful, intentional motivation and general life advice, including gardening and other things, check her out over there, Steph. There's Anne. Anne is back. And Tabitha, in-house sister and friend to the channel. Tabitha, good morning. Wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you are having a good day. I mean, it's been a productive day so far in the UK. And if you see me here, I've had a full day already. It's 3 p.m. So it's great to kind of start the recipe straight away. Who in the chat knows about lemon curd? Right? Do you know what lemon curd is? Because I don't want to assume that you know lemon curd. But if you do, show by hand in the chat. And if you don't, it's okay. We will talk you through what lemon curd is. If you see me munching on something, I'm just munching on something because look, a sister is hungry. Okay? I haven't eaten, but it's okay. So the question is, have you heard about lemon curd? Do you know what lemon curd is? Tabitha says, it's only 11 minutes past 7 a.m. and she has no idea what a productive day it is likely to be. You know what? Be hopeful, okay? You're alive and you have breath. So I am sure the Lord will lead you somewhere great, okay? Close your eyes. Okay, sis, you better stop eating. Just stay hopeful. Close your eyes and say, Lord, lead me to what your desires are for me today. That's all the prayer you need, and be intentional about it. And you'll be surprised with that little prayer at the forefront of your mind. It will influence how you perceive your day and how you react to some of the everyday challenges that will come your way. I know it firsthand because sometimes we think prayer has to... How did we end up here, Glad? We'll come to... I know Steph says she doesn't know what lemon curd is. We'll get to that. But this is just encouragement for those of you who are just getting up, and for Tabitha who doesn't know how her day is going to turn out. Okay? So speak some life into your day. Because I can tell you, sometimes when we think about prayer, we think prayer has to be this thing where you have to literally make time and go and seek God. No, 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 no. Prayer is just an intentional mental effort to connect with the supernatural. And that is like speaking life into your day. So 7 past 11 is still very early, especially if you're still in bed. So it's just an intentional effort to say, dear God, thank you for my life and breath this morning. As I head through my day, let your desires and your will lead me. Okay, and just by these words alone, it will influence how you see the petty things that niggle you and annoy you, because it means you are switching a part of your brain intentionally to be able to respond to things in a way that will be fruitful and productive and will support a general well-being. Because look, if you don't know me, this is not about me. I am a cranky person when I wake up. Okay, I know you don't feel it because I'm always out here trying to be happy. Believe me, I am cranky. And when I wake up and I'm super cranky and I start shooting through my day without that little mental effort to switch into that mode of being like intentional and prayerful, oh, I can tell you, I am behind the steering wheel. I won't say I swear because I'm Ghanaian. We don't have swear words, but we have attitude problems, okay? And believe me, but the day I wake up, which is more often than not, actually, the day I wake up and I'm like, I don't care whether I'm running late, I don't know what's ahead of my day, I am just going to make an effort. Believe me, I end up just having such a calm day. Not calm because the world has been calm towards me, but calm because I am constantly checking in just to make sure that the little prayer I shared in the morning is carrying me through the day. So that is a little bit of encouragement for you over there. Steph says she doesn't know about lemon curd. So back on the subject of lemon curd. Lemon curd is a type of dessert, okay? It's a type of soft sort of served dessert that is used also as a filling in most things like your flan, like pies, like accompaniments with buttercream and cream for, say, scones, cakes, and other things. Specifically in cake decoration, it is used as a soft filling. Now, a soft filling is a secondary filling that accompanies some form of primary filling, which is either buttercream or ganache or a hard set kind of filling, okay? I know that's a lot of words, but simply in cake decorating, lemon curd is in the same category as jam and caramel and those sort of flowy type of filling, which is that they generally cannot hold themselves, so you cannot use them alone as a filling in a cake. And so what you have to do is you have to use them as a secondary type of filling, which is held in place by your primary type of filling. And your primary type of filling can be either buttercream, ganache, or some sort of filling that actually holds itself. So in this case, lemon curd is a sort of soft filling that goes alongside other types of fillings such as buttercream in cake decorating. The main ingredient, which is like lemon curd, as the name suggests, is that it is made from lemons generally, which is the primary ingredient. But the secondary item that supports how it sets and how it feels and the outcome is also eggs. So I'll be talking you through the ingredient selection here, the role they play in the making of lemon curd, and we'll be moving on to making the lemon curd so you can see the outcome of it. Let's go back. Let's go back and see. Seasonings. Steph was adding to the thought of prayer, that prayer has to be a specific way, and it doesn't. Well, there you have it. I'm glad you feel that way and you've come to know prayer doesn't have to be very specific. I used to think that also. I thought like if I woke up, I have to make time like in the morning. I mean, set an intentional time in the morning to sit down and commune with the Lord. It's important, but life will not always guarantee that. So you almost have to make your prayer life a little bit flexible so that you are not missing out, but you are also employing that as part of your day. So prayer can be as simple as sitting in your car and driving and talking to yourself. Prayer can feel like that. There's no specific way. And I actually find that the more informal prayer is in your life, the better your results. And actually it also lends to the notion of mindfulness, because whilst prayer is kind of sort of spiritual, sort of centered spiritually on something so abstract. If you kind of move it to the notion of being mindful, I think prayer is an act of mindfulness that can also encourage well-being for you. And that is just by the day. Somebody was saying, take off your glasses. Are you, Sophie, are you talking to me? I don't know what you're talking about, but I have no glasses on here. Perhaps you're talking to somebody else, okay? But that is just by the way. For all you new people in here, if you're talking a language we cannot respond to, unfortunately we can't answer you, but it's not because we're ignoring you, it's because we can't understand what you're saying. So please use the language that is quite understandable, and I'm sure that we will engage and interact with you. So back on the subject of lemon curd, I have the ingredients right here in front of me. Lemon curd is made from very simplistic ingredients, and the thing I love about lemon curd is that I can almost use every aspect of the ingredients that are selected. For instance, the lemon, I'm employing lemon zest and the lemon, which means the entire lemon doesn't go to waste. Because sometimes when you zest the lemons and you have no use for the lemon juice, it means you have to leave the lemon, and there is only so much lemon you can keep until they go off, because after you've zested them, they don't stay fresh. Their skin dries and it's awful looking, and I don't like them. I pretend I like lemon water in the morning, but please don't ask me about it after the first day I have drunk it. That stuff is rancid and horrid, but hey, it works. I'm not saying I drink lemon juice all the time, but some days when I feel like I don't want my lemons to go off, I am tempted to kind of pretend I like lemon juice in the morning, right? So lemon curd is one way you can reutilize your lemon and every aspect of the lemon before discarding the chaff, which you probably will not need. So over here, I have granulated sugar and lemon zest. The zest of lemon here is very flexible. I love a bit of lemon zest because the oils in the lemon zest coats the sugar and sort of flavors your curd in a very nice citrus lemony way that intensifies the flavor for your lemon curd. So in this bowl is, I think, 120 grams of sugar, which is granulated sugar, mixed into the zest of 5 lemons. So I've kind of mixed them all together. What I've done is zested the lemons by themselves, poured the sugar in, and used my hand to kind of mix them together, set it aside so that the sugar will draw out the flavors. When you kind of put your hand through it, just feels like you've kind of put oil, like it's like some scented lemon oil or something, but it's just unwaxed lemon. Most important, unwaxed, because lemons that are sold in the shop are sometimes waxed slightly to kind of keep the coating in, which will extend the shelf life of the lemons in shop for you to purchase. So it's important that when you're shopping for lemons from which you're going to use the zest, you look for unwaxed lemon. Now, I'm not bothered about whether they're organic or inorganic. As long as it's unwaxed, it's fine. It will work. So we have the zest of 5 unwaxed lemons that have been mixed into 120 grams of granulated sugar. Now, there is 70 grams of butter here. Now, this butter you can cut into small blocks. It is very important that this butter is kept cold at the time of use. I only brought it to room temperature here just so that you can get to see it in the demonstration. So otherwise it would have had to be kept in the fridge. Over here I have the yolks of 6 large eggs. Now, a large egg weighs, I think, if my thoughts are right, it's about 58 grams, a large egg, depending on where you're sourcing your egg. But just giving you a few figures here, about 58 grams deshelled, like if you take it out of the shell, I believe. So the yolk on its own measures at about 17 grams to 19 grams, somewhere in between, because the yolks are not one size, and sometimes they weigh more and sometimes they weigh less. I think the maximum quantity I've had for an egg yolk is about, for a large egg specifically, is about 19 to 20 grams, but anything between 17 to 19 grams will work. So simply the yolk of a large egg, which weighs on average about 18 grams. So for 6, you're looking at anything short of 100 to 105 grams. Just The thing about lemon curd is that it is very flexible in terms of how you can adapt to the ingredients. So you don't have to be specific to the number. If you've been here before, you would know that over here, I make sure I give you exact gram measurements, because it's important for precise cooking and precise results. But for lemon curd, the recipe I have used time and again, it has worked. 6 large yolks from large eggs, that works. And then into that is additional 2 large eggs. As long as the eggs are labeled large, 2 of those in addition should work together. And then here we have about 115 mils. Now, again, back to the subject of adaptable. Anything between 110 and 115 mils will work, which is exactly the juice squeezed from the 5 lemon zest that I used here. So if you get a little over the 115 and it kind of teeters somewhere around 120 mils, don't worry too much. It's fine. It will work. But over here, I have exactly 115 mils over here. Just a little rundown of the ingredients as we are talking about it. Tabitha, okay, one of our grocery stores sent me a coupon for 3 dozen eggs. They offered extra large. I still have not found a recipe that calls for extra large, just large. Tabitha, don't be so precious. It's fine. Get the extra large. When you crack it, it just means you weigh it. It's fine. There are recipes that will call for that. So for instance, if your yolk is extra large, considering I've told you the regular large is about 17 to 19 grams. If you're using extra large and it weighs, let's say, 23 to 24 grams per yolk, it means you need about half the same quantity, or like nearly 2/3 of the quantity. Does that make sense? But yeah, go and redeem your gift and don't let it go to waste, my dear. Over here, I have purchased the extra large eggs, and they're so large. I'm like, why do I need large eggs? I bought them in a pack of 6 just to kind of test out like the type of eggs, because I was talking about eggs. I think at some point I wanted to make some videos about the different ingredients and how they are sold and whether it matters at all. So yes, don't be too precious about it. Go get it. Oh, you got the large eggs instead. That's fine. That is fine. Okay, so just a quick rundown of the ingredients and their roles. Obviously, we have lemon zest that kind of brings a citrus flavor to the lemon curd and intensifies the citrus and lemony sort of flavor to your lemon zest, to your lemon curd. Now, sugar over here balances the sweetness from the acid and citrus that we are getting from the lemon, being the primary ingredients over here. So sugar brings sweetness, balances the taste, and sort of helps the lemon curd set. Egg yolks bring thickening, which is the primary ingredient for texture and how it feels. So egg yolks brings thickening to the lemon curd, and butter brings creamy mouthfeel and sheen to it. One last tip though, you can also add a pinch of salt. Most lemon curd recipes will not always talk about adding the salt, but believe me, a little pinch of salt in your lemon curd will kind of raise the taste a little bit and bring complexity for you. Now, there are different ways that lemon curd is made. People make it sometimes cooking it directly on direct heat, which is what I know most recipes on the platform would encourage. That is very, very sensitive to make, because it will mean keeping an eye on the heat source so that you don't end up with scrambled eggs. So for any beginner out there, if you want to make lemon curd, my biggest recommendation is for you to use the double boiler method, which is to cook the entire curd over in a glass bowl over steam heat, so that the steam will gradually bring the eggs to the boil and set it into the curd that you want without the risk of curdling it. But even so, when you have the bowl over the water, there are still a few guidelines that you have to observe for better results. So we will get to that in a minute. But in the meantime, let me get myself a heat-proof bowl. and then we will get to it, right? But otherwise, yeah, for those of you in the chat who are just seeing me for the first time, thank you for stopping by. A polite reminder that if you're in the chat, there is 13 of you. Do consider liking the video, okay? If you don't mind, just help a sister out. If you haven't, just stop and like the video, just to give us a heads up, and also to give YouTube, to let YouTube know that you've been here, because that also helps us out. And if you haven't noticed, especially for some of us who are into observing how YouTube works, it seems like the algorithm, whatever the word is changing a little bit, because in the last 24 hours, I have been inundated with so much content from different places that I have never seen or watched before. Is anybody experiencing that on their homepage? Do you find that the creators you watch, you don't see their content on your homepage, and what you are seeing is not something you asked for? But then again, if you are into YouTube and you watch a lot of content on YouTube from the platform owners, you will know that they claim things change nearly every day from their side. So, Lollipop, what are you mad about? Lollipop says, I saw someone trying to do a double boil method for melting chocolate, but it was just a bowl in a frying pan with water around it, not touching the sides, and straight on the bottom of the pan. Lollipop, you woke up and chose violence today, did you? Okay, so if you're wondering what we're doing, we put everything here into the heat-proof bowl, and I'm going to add a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt. I saw in there somebody said they like quiche. I like quiche too. I actually made quiche last weekend. We finished it in 24 hours. It was a huge 10-inch quiche that I made at home. I like homemade quiche, except I don't like making my own, is it the short crust pastry? For a minute, I felt like I lost my train of thought. I don't like making my own short crust pastry at all. Right, so here we are. Again, the little guideline is, it's a shame you can't see into the bowl, but believe me when I say, for this bowl, if you think about it as like a tall, the entire length, it's about a third of it has the water in it, which means the bowl is big enough that it only sets on the top and doesn't go to the bottom at all. So we're going to kind of bring the lemon curd to a boil with just the steam. I say boil loosely because it's never going to boil. It's going to slowly steam up and sort of cook and set, but not boil. The moment you boil it, you know you have yourself a crisis waiting to happen. So I'm going to get my source of heat all sorted. Okay, there you have it. And this part is really slow and boring, and nothing happens for a long time, and I should let you know that in advance. But if you are undertaking this in your own home, do not be distracted to go off and undertake another task, because by so doing you might just risk making scrambled eggs that will not be good to eat anyway. Because I mean, if it turns into scrambled eggs and you could use it, then that would be great, wouldn't it? Except you can't, because it's lemon scrambled eggs. I don't know anybody who likes lemon scrambled eggs, people, right? So I've turned the heat up on high, right? We'll keep an eye until the water begins to kind of bubble up and the steam begins to go up, and then we'll start managing the source of heat. Tabitha and Lollipop, or anyone in the chat, could you kindly put the recipe details in the chat for anyone who would want to know? We have 6 yolks of 6 large eggs, okay? The yolks of 6 large eggs plus 2 whole large eggs. That's the eggs. We have the zest of 4 to 5 lemons, and the freshly squeezed lemon juice from those 4 to 5 lemons, and that's about 115 mils. We have 70 grams of cold butter that will be added to sort of cool and set, bring some creaminess and yet also enhance the sheen. And then we have 120 grams of granulated sugar. That is the recipe details here. Put it in the chat, but I have already scheduled a post with the same details to come up on the community post at 4 o'clock. So at 4 o'clock, if you can't find the details in the chat because you joined in late, you'll be able to find the post. You find the recipe details in the community post where I have already posted that and added some photographs for your convenience. Anyway, let's see. Well, maybe what am I missing? Let's get into the chat. So Lollipop King said, I saw someone trying to do the double boil method for melting chocolate, but it was just a bowl in a frying pan with water around it, not touching the sides, and straight on the bottom of the pan. You know what? People sort of do, I always say, for the thing that is mostly recommended, it's not always a one-stop rule for everybody. People find different ways to do different things. So yes, if they put the pan, I mean, in the past when I have used my Kenwood XL, right, the XL bowl is a bit narrow, so sitting this into a pan like this is going to be tricky because it's going to go straight to the bottom. And in the past, when I've made sweet meringue buttercream, I have sat it straight in the bowl with the water sitting at the bottom. The truth is, will it work? Yes, it will work. Is it generally recommended for a beginner? No, because when you start doing that, the heat source, the direct contact of the bowl to the heat source means that you only have such a limited amount of time to work things out, and it takes experience to be able to work that out without the risk of literally scrambling the eggs or melting your chocolate and seizing it, right? So even though I don't recommend it, it's not because it's a bad thing to kind of sit that in the water. The only reason I don't recommend it is because I'm trying to eliminate the higher risk that is associated with that kind of method. But whoever was doing that, if they ended up melting the chocolate without burning the chocolate and were able to regulate the heat for the results they were aiming for, then yeah, that's still a win. Okay, so Lollipop, just a quick assurance to say there's no right or wrong here generally. Sometimes it is what is more efficient and eliminating risk other than just taking a chance on something. That's all. So for instance, this lemon curd recipe, can you cook it on direct heat? Yes, you can. But the direct heat method means that you have a lot of variables working against you, and you almost have to be very sensitive to what is happening. And it's too much pressure, especially if you're a beginner who is just trying your hands at a new recipe and trying to get your best results. Okay, so that is just that. But Lollipop was saying, I am still mad that they did that. Oh, I'm sure they did just fine. Tapeta says, after you've been baking for a while, you kind of get a little bit of a rebel attitude and do things that would not. Thank you, Tapeta. I mean, you know what? I was telling my sister over the weekend because I was spending time with family, and my sister loves to bake. She really loves to bake, and I think because she is such like she's such a proficient person because she's a professional in other things that she does in her life. And you know, people who have just a knack to do things right, I think her frustration at being a beginner baker comes through sometimes. And I was sitting with her and I had to encourage her to say, you know what, the baker I am didn't come natural to me. As an African, this working with scales is not a natural thing for me. Okay, I am Ghanaian. I can cook you the best meals without having to measure a thing. Okay? It's in my genes. Close your eyes, eyeball it, and boom, you have a good jollof rice over here. Okay? That's the secret. Right? But the baker I am had to literally narrow down that that natural instinct. And I'm constantly fighting with it. I am constantly fighting with that natural instinct that's like, you know what? I can make this work. I can. The difference here is that as I have kind of grown into being a cake educator, it is my will to kind of like, the intention to empower you with accurate information for consistent results actually outweighs my natural instincts to just eyeball things. And that is why I am now sort of used to the mechanism of measuring and weighing things. Because believe me, there's a rebel in there that is just innate. And it works. It's fine. So if you're in there, let us know. Have you ever been tempted to kind of bake something and still kind of like not adhere to the rules? And what has the results been for you? It says, of all the ingredients on the entire planet that I will refuse to measure ever is vanilla. I mean, a little more vanilla never hurt nobody. Okay, Tabitha, be kind to yourself. Nobody cares. I mean, have you seen me measuring vanilla like 2 tablespoonfuls? Have you? But this stuff is so expensive. But I still refuse to measure it, so that is fine. It's fine. Okay, it is all right, Tabitha. You are not alone in that endeavor. Okay, we can all be all right here. I think the actual ingredient that I refuse to measure accurately all the time is salt. Even when it is specifically, if I'm testing a recipe and it says 2 tablespoonfuls, I am like still a pinch of salt. And it's not a pinch, believe me, because a pinch is this. I am over here doing that. Okay, so salt. Tabitha Lollipop says, I'm always trying to get it dead on, but it's always over. I'll say that will do. Abracadabra, that will do. That will do it. I will do it. Is that you, Lollipop? You go from switching from normal mode to cauldron mode. That will do. Okay. I know you can't see directly into the bowl, but at least you can see what I'm stirring. The bowl underneath is really boiling, but it's the steam that is cooking the curd over here. And I am going to be using this to fill a 7-inch cake. It's going to be maybe 2 tablespoonfuls per layer of cake, but you can double the recipe for yourself if you want. It freezes well if you want to freeze it, and it keeps. I find I don't like lemon curd a lot, okay? Whilst you can use it for different things, I don't like it so much. So when I make it and there's excess, it ends up sitting, and it doesn't save well when you keep it in the fridge for a long time. It doesn't, unless you freeze it. Because it's homemade, it goes off. Okay, so if you want a nice lemon curd recipe, just make enough for what you need, and you can double this recipe for still best results. So it's fine. You stir that, and if it ever occurred to you what is happening here, what will happen is that the eggs will begin to set. And when it does, I will show you. The trick is to kind of use a ladle to kind of pick it up. And if you can see it being sticky on the back, you have gotten to where you need to go. right? So it turns very quickly. It's like, it looks very porridge like, if you know what I mean. Like, say if you add cornstarch to it, but we're not adding cornstarch. In certain recipes, you might want to add cornstarch to help it set completely, especially if you're filling it into a pie and stuff like that. But we are not doing that. And a good tip here, the moment the bowl begins to kind of like, the eggs begins to sort of thicken, you want to work quickly. Because sometimes when you even take the bowl off, when you take the bowl off, the bowl still is warm. And it's really, really important. If I need to kind of stop talking, right? And just to give you a clue, look at what it looks like. We went from watery looking gunk to this, okay? And that's what you need. Anything from here is just going to burn and scramble your eggs. I've turned the heat down already. Okay, now we need to get this off. And I need to kind of swap this real quick because the bowl is still warm and it will cook. It will cook the eggs if I don't change it. There you have it. And as you can see, let me just take this off there. There you have it. So see, if you don't work quickly at that point, you will end up burning, you will end up scrambling it and it will break. So over here, that you add the butter. The butter at this point, it's better to add like cold chilled butter, as in butter that is like almost like solid. But of course, I set my butter out at room temperature, so it's not as cold as I would like it. But what I'm doing is I'm cutting it into pieces so that I don't have a block in there that will struggle to kind of melt, because then the warmth of the curd is going to melt the batter to make it set in here. And because I use the lemon curd, the lemon zest, you can see bits in there. You can leave the bits and have the curd with bits in it. I like it a little more fine, so I will be sieving this just so that I have a very fine finish to it. There you are. So lemon curd, when it's done this way, you can leave it as a filling for pies. Lemon curd is not everybody's cup of tea, okay? It can be citrusy, tart, with a lemon mouthfeel, but the sugar cuts through nicely. I don't like it very much, so my facial expression is not because it's a bad thing or anything of that sort. It's simply not my kind of dessert. Okay, so I'm just transferring that through a sieve to get it fine. Okay, let's. Okay. there you have it. So we have the lemon curd all sieved. And that's it. Right, so if you're just joining us and you're wondering what we're doing, we literally just made ourselves lemon curd, which is going to be used to fill into a lemon drizzle cake that we will be making right here. I've just added a spoonful of vanilla. I like the smell of vanilla. That's our lemon curd done. What do you think? It was Steph who said she hadn't heard of lemon curd before. Steph, do you like lemon, as in, now that you've heard about it, does that sound like a dessert option? Because this is great. Besides using it as fillings, right? For yourself and for dessert at home. You can use lemon curd. You can package it as a gift. In the past, I have made it, filled it into jars, labeled it nicely with caramel. And it serves as a nice Christmas gift if you care to give it away. What did I just... Okay, let me just... Lollipop, you have been seeing something. Yeah, how do you unsee that? Vanilla beans are actually a part of the orchid plant. Okay. You can't unsee that. Well, I can't unsee that, but one thing I want to see always and not feel like I want to unsee is lemon curd, okay? That's our lemon curd done. If you see me kind of grimacing, it's simply because lemon is not my friend. And it has to be balanced with something for me to actually enjoy it. Which means the lemon drizzle cake we'll be making, I'll be making it back here. I think, will it be tomorrow or the day after? I'm not so sure. But we are going to be making lemon drizzle cake. But as always, when we come, we will be finishing and then coming back later to make Swiss meringue buttercream, because we're kind of spacing the lives up a little bit. So we'll be back to make Swiss meringue buttercream after this session. It's almost 4 o'clock. So if say we aim to sign off for 1:15, we'll be back at give or take 5:30 or 6, where we'll be making Swiss meringue buttercream. And so if you have questions about Swiss meringue buttercream, it's a buttercream choice we have made time and again, okay? I never get tired of making Swiss meringue buttercream, but I'll tell you, Swiss meringue buttercream pairs great with lemon curd. Like a lemon flavored buttercream is amazing when you make Swiss meringue buttercream, because it cuts through the buttery mouthfeel and brings balance. It's still stable. It's great tasting. There's everything to love about it, okay? So if you're just joining us, we've literally just finished making lemon curd. But of course, you can go back and watch the entire video. But since it's just Tuesday and Tabitha's morning is just starting, those of you who are just starting your morning, what's up with you? And we're catching up again since the weekend. How are you all? Because I had to finish what I was doing first to be able to talk to you. Lollipop, how was the air show? I saw the email, but my weekend has kind of descended into a bit of busyness over here because I was with family. But yes, I saw you had a great time, and yeah, you living at with your sea view over there. I am so jealous. That aside, my weekend had more to do with spending the time with family and just trying to relax. But I don't know if you get to relax when you have 4 kids running in your face and wanting to have their own way. But whilst we're at it, people, just a polite reminder. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do. I mean, I did stop to show you how to make lemon curd, okay? So that you can go make your own lemon curd with great results. So perhaps the only thing you can do to show a bit of support over here is to just like the video whilst we're at it. Tabitha, I know you don't know how productive your day is going to be just yet, but what plans do you have for your day? Yes, Lollipop, kids always want to have their own way. And when you tell them of, oh, I have one who just get like, he's always like, he's not a drama queen, but some days he's like, he's a bit of a drama queen when he wants a bit of attention. Oh yes, Tabitha in the chat saying, if I don't like making the crust for a quiche, I could make it without the crust, and it's called a frittata. Yes, I know a frittata. I love a frittata. I love a good frittata. You know what? They are both good. I love frittatas for breakfast, as a breakfast meal. I love it. But a quiche with a good crust, like if you make a homemade short pastry crust, I like a nice crust. Okay, so I like a good frittata, but it's never going to replace a quiche for me. However, I tell you, my cheat way of making a quiche with short, I just buy the short crust. That's it. I buy it. It's not the same as if you made it. Okay, it is very dry, and by the time, because you have to dry bake the crust first and then seal it with egg wash so that your quiche filling doesn't seep through the pastry and make it all gunky. When you buy the short crust pastry, it dries quickly, and so by the time you dry bake it and also bake the quiche, it is kind of, it's like a very burnt, dry bit of cardboard. But I would rather have that than not have the crust, because I love my quiche in a certain way. Okay, but yeah, I don't like making the crust. Yeah, I just buy it. If you go my local Tesco, and if you don't know Tesco is like the equivalent of Walmart, like a big supermarket, if you like, a big supermarket chain. Tesco have extra large or extra thick short crust pastry, and it stretches over a 10-inch. This was the one I used to make the, as you can see, like you can even see bits of the thing in there, right? You can see. This is a 10-inch, 25 centimeters. And the Tesco extra, is it the extra thick or extra large short crust pastry fills this all up neatly, you know, with just a little bit of overhang, if you like. So it kind of works, and I don't have to do anything to it. But if you like homemade short crust pastry, the short bought one is not the same. It's not the same, but I'm lazy. Okay, making short crust pastry is a lot. I don't like. It's not a pie plate. It's a tart pan, but I use that for quiche. Like, yeah, I use that for quiche. I mean, I don't have a pie pan, a pie plate. I don't. I wish I had one though. So people, if you're in the chat, when it's Christmas and you want to buy me presents, please don't buy me Christmas jumper. And don't buy me candles and flowers and chocolates. I don't care. Okay? Go buy me cake stuff. Okay? Buy me cake stuff. That is for those of you who don't know how to buy presents. That's just, by the way, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's a tall tart pan. That is just by the way. Okay? So yeah, this is what I use for my quiche, and I buy my short crust pastry. You know what, Tabitha? That is just a nice reminder that yes, I was supposed to be moving home. I don't know. I told you, I don't know. It would be lovely if we did, but I don't know. But I also feel like a move at Christmas is just going to be so disorienting, isn't it? A move, because Christmas is supposed to be all these activities happening, and if we moved home, it will take away the joys of Christmas. So I'd rather not. I'd rather before or after, not slam in the middle of Christmas. So you know what? From what is happening, we have like, remember, I did say I still don't know what's happening. We're still packing the house, but there are still things we have to kind of navigate. And at this point, nothing is happening. Okay, so I may still be here for Christmas. Either way, I don't really mind. I'm still having a great time. Okay, like I said, I would have just not said anything about the move until, but when it happened, I thought it was going to be so quick, and it seemingly isn't. So we're still here. We're still here. But yes, that's, yeah, I think I've kind of I've stopped like fussing about how scary a move feels like, and then when it happens, it happens. But it will. It may be, it's from what I see. I mean, we're getting into September next week. Okay, August is over, and I don't think anything is happening in September. And then when September comes, we have October and November, and Christmas is kind of a protected time anyway. So it's more likely going to be after Christmas. But hey, who knows? So yeah, I'll be back telling you all about, but it will be nice to have one last Christmas here before we leave, isn't it? I think that would be, because if we moved for Christmas, it's going to just throw everything into disarray, and we don't want that. We don't want that. We want a bit of stability. So yeah, Tabitha. Tabitha, you're supposed to be praying for a productive day, not for a cup to be breaking. If a cup broke, I would know which spirit is working, Tabitha. Okay? Is a broken cup supposed to bring good luck? Because if that is it, I'm all up for it. It's superstitious people in the chat, right? Those of you who are superstitious, is a broken cup a good thing or a bad thing? If it's a bad thing, I've broken for. No wonder my life is the way it is. But that's just by the way. Okay, cup. Look, my sister got me this from Malta. Okay, my sister bought me this from Malta, and this is the cup that has since replaced the old one. And I've told you, people, I think we have to get a tea brand to sponsor us. It's been a while since a cup broke. That is because I've gotten comfortable, and these days I am a little more organized. What could be wrong with that? Nothing. Okay, people? Nothing. But Tabitha, if a cup falls down, I'll be right at your door. I'll send you the bill via email. I just replaced. Right, Lollipop says, I just recently replaced the cup that broke years ago. That's fun. I mean, to be honest, the cups in my house all need replacing anyway. The cups in my house all need replacing, because none of them matches, you know. I like a big cup. None of them matches. You know, sometimes when you go to someone's house and they have all these selection of cups that match each other, and they have the cups that match their plate. Mine are all like a bit all over the place. They don't match. Tabitha says she's happy to pay the bill for the cup that broke. Tabitha, I know you will be more than gracious to do that. But yeah, you won't. Unless you broke it, it's all right. I think you pay us enough in love over here. So it's fine. Cups don't have to match. It's weird to me when they do. You see, Tabitha, you are my spirit sister over here. Tabitha says the cups don't have to match because I'm over here thinking, oh, it's weird I don't have the matching cups. Fine, they don't have to match. So that's my cue to say I am going to be buying myself random cups that are huge, that are big, that serves what I need. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So people, they show the character of the person. Lollipop. Yeah, my tea stained cup tells you I love tea. I don't know what it's supposed to say about my character that my cup is stained, which is that I don't wash the cup or what. I don't know. But Lollipop, I love you nonetheless. Okay? Because if anybody understands me, it would be you people. Okay? And for those of you who have just joined us, it may seem like we are just chatting, but no. We were here earlier to kind of complete this lemon curd recipe that has the recipe details in the chat, and you can watch the entire video of how I made this right up on the channel with the live. And yeah, you'll find more of the details on the community post. I'm gonna read out one last comment from Tabitha before we go, but we will be back here at 6 o'clock to make Swiss meringue buttercream. Okay, Swiss meringue buttercream. Right, Tabitha said, matching cups are to me aesthetically pleasing. It feels clinical. I want mishmash cups that come with fun stories and memories. I mean, Tabitha, you are dead on point. Well, this was the cup that replaced the one the third one I broke, right? And then this is the one that my sister brought from Malta. Right, before I bought this one, this was the cup I was using before I bought this. It has chipped a little bit, but I like this better because even though this is wider, it's not as big as this one. Okay, but I also bought this one when I went sourcing for this one, the original one. I bought that because, like I said, I like cups that are just big and deeper and bigger. So those are my tea cups. Lasso Kid, where have you been, darling? Where have you been? Where have you been hiding? Because class is nearly over. Okay, Lasso Kid. But how are you? How are you? Great to have you back. Maybe perhaps you need to go and Joyce, well, Joy, you're back, darling. Nice to see you too. Joy and Lasso Kid, you guys are late for class. No, I'm not chastising you, I'm joking. It's because we came and we made lemon curd. We've literally finished the lemon curd and we need to come back and make Swiss meringue buttercream. Okay, so we're just stopping to catch up with Joy and Lasso Kid because both of you have just been late for class, right? Lollipop, Sport Direct mugs. You know what? I don't mind them because they are huge. Two of my sisters have them at home. One is a Man United mug and it is double the size of this. It's the long, big one and I love it. I think now that you've spoken about it, I'll go and buy one for myself. I love a big cup of tea. I do. But I think I need to go and the tea is staining my teeth. Can we talk about it? The tea has stained my teeth. My son tells me my teeth are brown. I know you can't see it on camera, but my teeth are stained because I drink that much tea. I need to go and see my dentist. But I also don't want to be, when you start kind of like going to polish off your enamel because of aesthetic reasons, it's like, it's not broke, don't fix it. But the tea, I drink too much tea, okay? Lasso Kid says, you didn't appear on my feed. I know, Lasso Kid, I know YouTube is not doing us, is doing us a disservice. It is, because all week I found that the creators I follow, none of them is on my home feed. I have been suggested new things that I don't even care about, even though I was tempted to watch some of them. So it's not your fault at all. But check your notification and see. YouTube is just like wild for that. You know, it is. It doesn't notify you. So it's not your fault, and I'm not having a go at all. It's just unfortunate that we are just almost wrapping up class. But yeah, Joy, it's fine. It's fine. The lives are such that you can join whenever you can, and I sincerely appreciate. I just hate it when people when you join at the last, and it's as if you've missed out on the entire experience, and I hate it for you. But otherwise, look, people have lives, and the whole point of the life, which is why I am breaking it up, is that even if you miss an initial session, you can join in the next one where you can. So it's nothing more than love and just being considerate of you as well. So don't worry too much. But we'll be back making Swiss meringue buttercream. And the good thing about Swiss meringue buttercream is that I've made it time and again here. So it's not going to be a full-on, like, intense tutorial where my attention is kind of split on giving you all information. It will be time to kind of catch up. And so it's 10 minutes past 4. I'm going to have to wash up and kind of set everything back, sort the ingredients, and then we'll be back. So it will be 6 p.m. UK time. I don't know what the time is at yours, my US based audience, and those of you at different time zones, but just check the equivalent time, and hopefully we will see you at 6. Lasso Kid says, I made a nice marble cake today, and that's all I've done today. Just eat cake. Look, darling, some days you do the barest minimum, and some days you do the most, okay? And if all your energy was able to perform today was make a marble cake, do you know what it takes to make a marble cake? You would know, because it didn't just happen. You still had to get up, organize ingredients, put it together, and then bake it. And it has to turn out well for you to be able to enjoy eating it. So look, that's enough for today, okay? That marble cake is sufficient for today. And that's all you, look, kick your feet up, drink a cup of tea or a hot drink, whatever you're doing. Don't be hard on yourself, but just remember, a little sleep, a little slumber. And on that note, I'll see you at 6 o'clock. Okay? Bye-bye.